with the facilitator, yes, I agree that there's some that you can just see, oh, there's a facilitator in there and all I have to do is just get out of their way and they're perfect. But what about for the rest of us mere mortals who maybe need a little more help? And I think for me, I have to think about them as the learner. So sometimes when I'm working with adult learners, I'm less patient than I am with children. So like with a group of middle school kids that most people think are the worst in the world, I just have a great time because I just see them as wonderful little puppies. They have all this potential. They have a great sense of humor. Yeah, they get a little rangy sometimes and a little easily distracted, but they're just like taller 4-year-olds sometimes in their sense, but they have a greater depth of experience and more vocabulary and ability for abstract thought. But I just have fun with them. But I get with adults and I start to get really used to get serious when I would start to work with in terms of training them. And I think the most important thing is to model in your training how you want them to be. I would see when I first started in art museums why the docents, they were getting these amazing lectures from amazing art historians, all this great information, but their tours looked exactly the same over and over. And I realized we were modeling for them how to teach. Somebody stands up in the front of the room and they talk. And maybe you get some Q&A time at the end and their tours look just like that. And so I started doing a whole thing where I modeled differently. We first got in and we did things. So it's that idea that if I want to model for the families that this is I want you to engage with each other. I'm not the important one as the facilitator. So I'm going to remove, what's that term, this guide on the side rather than the sage on the stage. So if you've got to model that. So if you stand up in front of them and talk to them and they're going through papers and there's checkoff list and we're telling them to be the guide on the side, but we're modeling the sage on the stage, what are they going to do? They're going to stand in front of people and talk at them. And so it's like what Museum of Modern Art does with their family programs, and they train their facilitators this way as well, is that if I'm modeling for the families that this is a thing to do together, the first thing they do is not to give an introduction and to talk to them. They give one of these prompts or provokes or a question or to go look for something or to discuss something or talk about something first off. And that sends the message, we're doing things together. So if we're doing the training for the facilitators, and the first thing we do together is that they've got to solve a problem together before the trainer of trainers starts to say anything, then that sets the tone. Then you can step back and say, well, what did we just do? How did this work? What did it give this checklist, right? Of there's the social interaction, there's the meaningful, there's all of the pieces that we talked about, and they can go back and work through it. So for me, the John Dewey learning by doing is key. We have to model what we want them to do.